where we're discussing Makerere University and its troubles and how they reflect on the country, and we'll be taking feedback from our listeners. Halma Katerega says, at KIU, they are always missing marks, incomplete results, and imagine, after reading hard and scoring A's, they will expect you to run around looking for lecturers for missing marks. The system is so disorganized. There's another debate going on about the National Council for Higher Education. It has upped the grading system on where you get an A and where you get a B, which had been lowered, and that was the cause of the strike at Nkumba University. Komakech Job says, an education sector led by businessmen, what do you expect from it? What do you expect from it? Nabat?
I think universities should be run like businesses. But businesses of producing knowledge and ideas. I'm just talking about the general principles.
Yeah.
That there should be a business like, in other words, the vice chancellor should be like a proper CEO with a free hand to make executive decisions for which he or she is accountable. So we should say Juakali businessmen have no business running universities.
Absolutely, yes.
Let me put this question. If you've read Professor Mamdani's Marketplace something book.
I know the book you're referring to.
And he talks about the change from what was going to collapse the Faculty of Arts, which was the Institute of Languages at the time, to what it is today, to create it into the wettest faculty around Makerere University. Isn't this the whole idea of making it run as a business that Makerere finds it in much deeper trouble? I can see God by shaking his head, and Jack is wondering what the question wants from.
Yes, yeah, I don't understand.
Running the university as a business was the attempt that was made when private students were admitted.
Was that the attempt, or the attempt was to raise money to run the whole institution called a university, so that you can feed children, so that you can provide books, so that you can provide possibly, hopefully, lecturers? But I think what happened was, when you come from new money to lots of money, I think that creates a challenge. And again,
disease.
Then who manages? And that's why I had said in the beginning that I think there needed to be a separation of, and we need to look for smart managers. If this is where the institution is going, do we have the right leaders with a business sense, and can we separate the two functions, run the business called Makerere, but also ensure knowledge generation? And those two are not always compatible.
A quick response.
Running a university as a business essentially actually means applying business principles.
Yes.
To do something. Now, one of the major business principles is that before you go for quantity, you go for quality,
which will attract more money.
So in other words, if you are producing the most competitive graduates in the university, then
on the globe,
people will want to come and pay so much money to get that knowledge. So in other words, the money that you could earn by having 1,000 students in a class, you can actually earn it by having 200 students, but of the best quality.
Yes,
and by the way, when you get those quality products, they go and occupy serious positions of employment. So students, universities like Stanford, like Harvard, like Yale,
all those students are taken even before they finish.
Part of their capital is that alumni they have built in the World Bank, in the UN, in all the major corporations. That's part of their capital. That's what brings money into these universities. It's not the
other way around.
It's not getting
paying students.
Yeah, just getting a university like student like Makerere, and then you turn it into a university education. That's not running a university like business.
Okay, we unfortunately can't take all the feedback because we've pretty much run short of time. The current state of Makerere,
to say,
does it make her competitive in the region? The current setup as it is today?
No, I think it's Makerere is still building on, is still relying on its good image, but it is quickly losing that. There are universities that are going to emerge that have the freedom that Norbert talked about, that could actually overtake Makerere sooner than later.
Jackie, the mushrooming universities, we have 30 now, 30 universities across the country.
Already.
Yeah, they mushroomed already. There are more coming up. How do they fit in this whole equation? Are they providing the right alternatives and giving Makerere the right quality of competition that it needs to improve itself?
I'm not sure. Maybe in the beginning when they started as specialized colleges, so you had the medicine, you had agriculture, you had those specialized colleges. I think that not enough spotlight has also been shown there to say, okay, if we diversified, if the competition is as such, what does that competition look like? What is it delivering in terms of the graduates that it is that they are spewing out every year? And I think there needs to be a ranking, I would propose, in fact, within Uganda itself to see which are the best run and managed universities.
Chairman Mao?
I think Makerere is now chewing the cud out of yesteryear's dinner. There is no innovation in Makerere.
Even with the Kira EV?
I think that is what you would call a prestige project, and let them make prototypes. So I am concerned.
But they didn't tell us how many patents they have registered by coming up with Kira EV. That is the embodiment of innovation.
We also don't want deceptive innovation. There was a man called Musa Bode. He told the president that he could make spoons. Why should people import spoons? So then the president went to see his so-called factory. He had bought real spoons and put them in a furnace, but when they cooled, they were all reading, made in China. And so the president said, why haven't you put made in Uganda? And he said, Ugandans don't want to buy things that are made in Uganda. Yet actually, he had bought made in China spoons and he was only deceiving the president. I think the government should not allow anyone to pull wool over its eyes.
933 KFM Hot Seat is going to come to an end. Thank you very much, Chairman Mao. Thank you very much, Jackie, for making time for the show. Thank you very much, Godbert Mushawe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to you, all our listeners, for joining us tonight. Apologies, we are not able to take all the feedback that you gave us, but the discussion continues online and on Facebook. And till next time, for me, it's a good evening.
Hello? How are you, Mutawani? The battery is low and this phone is network. It's like that. Now I'm standing on a chiswa and your mother can't kill